What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode here, Heartletics, with your man, your host, Coach Joe. And I'm really excited to talk about today's episode. We're going to be talking about the cheat codes on how to be successful once and for all. And this could be literally in any aspect. I know on this channel, you guys hear me talk about health and fitness all the time, right? Burning body fats, having more, confidence, having more lean muscle tissue, just once again, improving who you are mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, everything like that, where you're becoming the best version of yourself. You're learning how to become the 2.0 version of yourself. And then when you adapt to those characters, traits that you have adapted to help you achieve that goal, well, guess what? Now it's on the next goal, right? We're people that not only set goals, but we achieve our goals here at Heartletics. So I want to give you guys one of the big cheat codes, right, to having success. And it's surrounding yourself with people that already have what you want, okay? I'm going to give you a little story, and this goes all the way back to when I was a kid. I used to play baseball, even though I hate baseball. I used to play basketball, still love basketball, right, to death. But here's the thing, and I remember my father constantly always telling me this. He would always push me to play with the older guys. My brother, who was a little bit older than me, his friends would come over, people down the street would come over and play. And I think it was just at that young age of surrounding myself with people who are, bigger than me, stronger than me, but I had to still compete if I wanted to play. We'd play football on the street, we'll play, baseball, we'll play, basketball. And what has helped me progress always, has been just surrounding myself with people that have been better than me constantly. See, I've never been book smart, like at all. That is not my thing at all. I'm horrible in school. I have a really bad job at what's called reading comprehension, right? Really bad job at doing that, where I can read things and then retain things. It has to be very simple for me. Hence why I make a coaching program that's very simple for others. Because if it's simple, like in my mind, it's retainable. It's sustainable, right? I understand that process, right? Now, if you make things very confusing, like I guess I can kind of, work my way through it a little bit, but eventually, after a week or two, or maybe even a month or two, I don't remember anything, right? It's just whatever. That's just how my brain operates. And, what I found out to be very successful with helping, guys transform and change their bodies is by adapting to some easy habits, very simple stuff, right? Like KISS, keep it simple, stupid, as opposed to this overanalysis paralysis, right? Of, following through with this and following through with this and just getting very confusing, and it's never really sustainable. So with that being said, in order to get better at sports, I wasn't watching sport documentaries or movies or whatever highlights. I wasn't, trying to read books on, the fundamentals of football or basketball or baseball or any of those things. No, it was just going outside and playing with my brother, going outside and playing with, the kids down the street who were a lot bigger and older than me. And that's what made me better. I had to adapt. And that's the simple things I want you guys to understand when it comes to learning some of these cheat codes for life. Just like how your metabolism, right? This is why I always tell everybody, hey, don't get so fixated on calories in versus calories out. Because at the end of the day, you need to know when to adjust calories and when to adjust your macronutrients to avoid any stalls or plateaus. And it's called metabolic adaptation. If let's say you're eating, 2,000 calories, well, hey, you can't just eat 2,000 calories the rest of your life. Eventually you're going to hit this stall in your body composition or your fat loss process where you have to know how to make adjustments. Now, sure, I guess you can, keep it at 2,000 calories and make adjustments with training and maybe your NEATs, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's completely fine. But once again, right, do you actually know how to do that? It's the knowledge aspect. So when it boils down to one of the biggest cheat codes, right, is surrounding yourself with people that are better than you, people that have more information than you, people that have more knowledge than you, just from you, either, listening to this podcast or watching this YouTube video. Guess what? It's going to make you better. Why? Because on these episodes, I'm promising to give you guys value and give you guys tips and tricks to help you become more mentally, right, and physically stronger. And so as long as you're partaking in that and obviously, following through with some of the practices that we talk about, you're going to get better. because you're gaining that knowledge. Now, the fastest way, I'll say it like this, I'll put it to you in terms of business perspective, okay? In fact, I'll put it in terms of, business perspective and let's just say health and fitness. That way it's relatable, okay? So health and fitness, first and foremost, I've tried it all, right? Keto, and I'm not talking just like straight, hey, I'm cutting out carbs and I'm going to do this for a few weeks to lose weight. No, I mean like tracking my macros, making sure that 75% of my daily calories were coming from fats, aka lipids, 20% coming from protein, 5% coming from carbs, which were mainly vegetables because it's lots of fiber, right? And then peeing on those little ketone strips, right? Check in my ketone levels. And I did that for about 8 months. And here's the thing, I got shredded, right? Like completely ripped to the bone, but I hated life. I completely hated it. I was sick of bacon, sick of eggs, right? Sick of all this coconut oil in my coffee, and it was gross. It was horrible. I felt greasy half the time, even though I looked good. It was weird. One, I'm Italian, so like I can't really cut out carbs anyways. That's like disrespectful. And also at the same time, I miss the finer things in life. Like I miss having, like donuts with my family, and I'm a donut connoisseur, right? I miss the finer things in life. So, and not only that, afterwards, resetting my body to get it back to, burning carbohydrates for fuel was very hard, very hard. My body would just store the carbohydrates as fat, honestly, for about another like 2 months after I was doing keto. So I had to do a reverse diet, but in terms of just carbohydrates to reverse my body properly to, actually use carbs as fuel sources, not store as body fat, So you hear what I'm saying, right? This is very complicated, very confusing for somebody that's just looking for, hey, how do I do this and sustain it? Maybe keto is not the option for you because you can see that there's a lot that goes into it. Now, I also tried fasting, right? Like fasting, it's a great tool. But here's the thing with me personally, it created this binge eating disorder where, I remember specifically being at Chipotle with my buddies and it's like 12:55. And I told myself, like, I was so fixated on the number on the clock, right? Like, I cannot eat, right? Like, any minutes, any seconds before this feeding window, which was about 1 to 6 p.m. It was a very short feeding window, right? And so, like, you hear all these things about intermittent fasting and, like, like autophagy and burning, old, cells for fuel and whatnot. Like, here's the thing, like, sure, there might be some truth to that. Sure, there might be some great health factors for it. But personally, when 1 p.m. hit, to me, every day was a mini food challenge. I didn't care about calories in versus calories out. I didn't care about macronutrients. I cared only about, okay, hey, I got the next, 5-6 hours to smash my face. I'm going to eat everything in sight. And it was horrible relationship with food, right, that I had. Literally, that scarred me. That's why I don't recommend, guys do fasting unless they know how to do it in a way where they can structure and hit their, macronutrients inside of that feeding window. If you can do that and it works best for your lifestyle, awesome, right? Stick with it, right? The simple things is what we're trying to teach guys at Heartletics on how to do this successfully for the rest of their lives. So I've tried the keto, right? Tried the fasting. At the end of the day, nothing worked the best for me until I had the knowledge, right? And understood how easy it was when I got certified in nutrition. It just made my life a lot easier because I had the understanding, okay? So now in terms of business, right? Now, here's the thing though, right? I had to pay for that certification. It was an investment, right? Not to mention just money on like the textbook and the course, but actually like my time, which is the most precious commodity on earth, right? My time, reading and learning and studying, okay? So just remember that. I've tried the free things like the keto, the fasting, everything like that, but it wasn't until I invested, right, and surrounded myself with somebody, right, or something like a course that had the knowledge, and that's where then I adopted the knowledge, okay? So remember, this is the physical part, right? Health and fitness. Now let's talk about business. So I've been a business owner, I'm pretty sure now going on my 7th year, right? And it has not always been fun. In fact, every day is a roller coaster ride, right? I find it now as the business is progressing, there's like mini fires I'm constantly putting out, but I think that's like entrepreneurship and it's just life testing you to see how bad you want it, you know? And so I look forward to these little fires, you know? But anyways, you know, you guys see a lot of people signing up for coaching, how big Heartletics has grown and is growing, right? Here's the thing. It didn't always start off like that. The first year in business, I lost about $40,000, okay? Trying all these different things. Like I thought, oh, just make a website, you know, and just have an online service and people are going to come to you. And then, you know, I don't know anything about marketing. So everything I promoted was just like, hey, sign up, right? Give me your money, give me your money, give me your money. It's not how you do business, right? How you do business is by pouring out value, right? But I didn't know that. So the first year I lost $40,000. The second year I lost about $30,000, okay? So at this point, my old accountant, who I fired, he was telling me, hey, I think you should stop, you know? Like, I think you should give it a break. I know you're passionate about this, but it's not we just can't keep doing this every year being in the red. That was like a week later, he was gone. He wasn't my accountant anymore. Let's just say it like that. Because I knew what I wanted. And I'm a beast. And I'm going to achieve everything I want in life. Hands down. I affirm that every single day. But here's what happened. I realized, okay, I'm going to go all in with Heartletics. Like I've already wasted enough of my personal family savings at this point. I'm going to spend the last little bit I had, right? It's about $10,000. $10,000, like literally. And at the time, right, I was still working a corporate job, you know? So it's just like, I was okay, you know? Here's the thing. If you guys want to have, you know, get out of debt, right? A little side plug here. Get out of debt. You guys want to learn financial abundance? Take a course or the Money Makeover book. It's on Amazon for like $10 from Dave Ramsey, right? Start learning about index funds. Start learning about mutual like stocks, all this stuff, right? Just learn how to invest properly, you know, into the future, into yourself, into, you know, like when you invest into yourself, right? Acquire more skills to potentially help you make more money or have the knowledge. That's the best thing, right? The second best thing is just make sure you're investing in general, right? To where you're putting money aside where it's going to grow down the road. All right. So that being said, I invested the last little bit I had, right? So $10,000, invested it into a coach. And the guy changed my life, man. Literally, he hit me up like how I hit up some of the clients, right? Just randomly messaging them out of the blue on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. He hit me up on LinkedIn, or excuse me, on it was actually Instagram. And then we talked a little bit more on Facebook. But anyways, he hit me up. I thought for sure, I'm like, all right, this dude's a scam. Like, there's no way this guy could be doing this, like, and helping out all these guys. I just don't understand how, like, somebody could actually do that, right? So we hopped on a call. And guess what? This man sold me. He sold me on myself. I remember, you know, the guy asking me, he's like, so, like, if money wasn't a thing, who do you want to be in life? And I remember, man, I thought so hard, like, who do I want to be? And I always just said, you know, like, I want to be the person that's really going to make a difference in this world, right? The person that's going to help inspire others to live a healthier lifestyle and leave a legacy. And I remember there was like a deep conversation we had, and he sold me on that picture of myself. And guess what? Here I am today living that life because he sold me on that. My complete life has transformed, right? Because guess what? He then gave me the knowledge on how to run a business, a successful business, where since obviously year one, right, losing $40,000, year two, losing $30,000, to where year three, I basically plateaued, which was great because it means I really wasn't going backwards. I was actually progressing going forward, right? And then so forth, right? The next year, made some money. The next year, made some money. The next year, made some money. And it just goes to show that when you invest into yourself, right? Something that you care about, something that you prioritize, whether it's learning knowledge for a particular, career advancement, or maybe it's learning knowledge, to improve your health and fitness goals, whatever the case may be. Always invest. Always think about that. That's one of the biggest cheat codes because, he sold me on his program. I then joined his program where I was, being a client, learning how to run my own online fitness business, but I'm going through his program where there's other coaches, right? And other guys just like me who they didn't know how to run a successful business either. And here this guy is with his team coaching me as well as all these other guys to run a successful business. And like, we're there to ask questions, we're there to engage, and like, they're doing the reviews, making sure we're doing all the right things. And it ended up working very well for everybody that was inside of my group. We all became pretty successful at what we do. So hear me out. How do you become successful in life? Whether it's your career, whether it's your health and fitness journey, you need to surround yourself with others, right? That's the cheat codes. Surround yourself with people that have what you want. Surround yourself with people that are on the same path, right, that you're trying to get to. My inner circle, right, are people that are trying to focus on personal development, meaning they have a goal and each and every day they're working hard to achieve that goal. They're being selfish. They're focusing on themselves because they prioritize it. They're focusing on their mindset. This is my inner circle, right? And these guys, right, that I hang around with, guess what? Like, they're mainly business owners, And so they see things different from how I see things, and I'm asking questions, right? We're conversating, right? This is networking. But guess what? As these people that are better than me and more successful than me in business, it's making me better, because I'm learning, right? I'm spending time, right? And in this mastermind course, like, yeah, I'm spending money for it, right? Every year. But guess what? Like, it's there for support. It's there for accountability. And so that's all you need to focus on. You need to identify what is your goal. Maybe you want to become a better accountant. Maybe you want to become, I don't know, a better financial advisor. Take a course, find somebody that is maybe a mentor or a coach, and they could teach you. Because take it what I said, I went through years of trial and error with my health and fitness, with my body, right? Of trying all these different things just because it was free advice, but never ever had any success, long-term success, right? Sustainable success with it. Same thing with my business. I couldn't afford personally to not invest into a coach. I couldn't afford it. I was just constantly losing money. So it's like, hey, I might as well lose money into an investment. And here's the thing, that was the scariest investment of my life because it was my last sold income. That was my savings. I had nothing after that. But when you dive in head first and you rip off the Band-Aid, and you burn the bridges, right, where you can't get back, your life hands down will change, will transform. So here's the cheat codes. Find somebody that has what you want and is successful at doing that and conversate with them. Invest into yourself to maybe have their time, whatever the case may be. Find a course, find a coach, find a mentor, They have proven results to help out other individuals just like you, and I promise you, you're going to learn. Your life is going to change. Now, obviously, you heard what I said. I was in a group, in terms of think about this, right? When I was in that business course, okay, with my coach, I was in a group with other like-minded individuals, with other, entrepreneurs and business, online fitness businesses just like myself. We were all conversating. We're all engaging. I didn't just sit there on the sidelines and saw everybody else talk and ask questions. I partaked in that, and that's what helped shift my identity because I was seeing all these other guys and I'm like, oh, if you can do it, I can do it. I look a lot better than you. I could definitely do it. My story resonates more. I can definitely do it. But because I was asking questions, because I was learning, right, and actually applying the practices, right, call to actions, how I'm structuring my content, social media, lead gen, all these different things that are very valuable that you need to know when running a business, they were teaching me that to where I can apply it, And after applying it, here's the thing, I sucked in the beginning, right? I didn't know how to talk to people on calls, right? Nothing like that, right? My content still was weird in the beginning. But over time, it gets a lot better, right? You progress, you succeed. So the moral story is that All right. If you want to know the cheat codes to life, so that way you can stop wasting your time, which is the most precious commodity here on earth, invest, right, into a coach, into a mentor, into a course, but most importantly, invest into yourself to take action once and for all, to put your health as a priority, to put your goals, right, as a priority. Because when you focus on going all in, like I said, your life can truly transform. And sometimes the scariest leap, the scariest jump ends up being the most beautiful one at the end of the day. It definitely was for me. So guys, I hope you guys got some value from today's episode. If you're listening to this on the podcast, please make sure to share it, maybe on your social media. Same thing, with the YouTube guys, if you're watching it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe share it with somebody that needs some inspiration, needs some help out there. With that being said, guys, this has been Heartletics with your host, Coach Joe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scout.